It's October 1st and the stakes are high. Got 3 months left to reach the sky. 5,000 units, that's the goal. Hit that number, you're on a roll. Back in 1819 we did this before. Merchants went crazy, they wanted more. Now it's back and it's calling your name. Time to step up and play the game. You're gonna get a sword, a literal sword, custom engraved, you can't afford to be bored. Win that argument about the watermelon, your name on the blade, now you're really selling. Walmart included, hang it up proud. 5,000 units, say it out loud. What you gonna do when the sword arrives? Cosplay as a merchant who actually thrives. Protect your empire from distraction attacks. Display it like the champ because you got the stats. October, November, December 2, 92 days, it's all on you. We'll ship it out when Q4's done. Your legendary content's just begun. You're gonna get a sword, hang it on your wall. Tell everyone you know, give your grandma a call. About us page, put that bad boy there. 5,000 units shows you really care. This Q4's gonna be the best one yet. Get your sword, place your bet. Get your sword, place your bet. Ready to earn yours? Let's make this the best Q4 ever. Happy selling!
Oh, there's treasure in the waters, 960 billion strong. The holiday season's coming, won't be very long. We'll Franken-phrase our products, we'll make the customers weep. With phrases from the fragments, their wallets we will reap. What do we do with lazy merchants? Pick one platform, stay the course. What do we do when sales are lacking? Build a phrase bank, that's the source. If they cry, they buy me hearties. That's the way to Q4 gold. If they feel it's real, we're sailing to riches yet untold. To my wife's the biggest booty. Hey! 50% they say. To my daughter's 30 more. Hey! That's the merchant's way. Don't be writing poetry, don't be fancy with your pen. Research what is working, Franken-phrase it once again, yeah!
How do we beat the competition?
Add personalization.
When do we sail to victory?
68 days to destination.
If they cry, they buy me hearties. That's the way to Q4 gold. If they feel it's real, we're sailing to riches yet untold.
Hoist the product high, make boys simple text designs. Ahoy, flip the phrase with ChatGPT. Q4 victory is sweet.
So zig when they zag me, hearty crew.
Keep shining bright, there's work to do.
Alright. 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 Alright.
700,000 orders told us what to say. Phrases are the secret, they're 90% of the way. Fragments stacking magic, stack 'em up real tall. To my wife and to my daughter, they're the best sellers of all. Yodel-ay, 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 ooh. Stack them phrases high, that's what winners do. Yodel-ay, 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 ooh. Phrases make 'em cry, if they feel it's real, then they're gonna buy. Don't write original poems, that's not how it's done. Research what is working, then the Franken-phrase has won. Braver, stronger, smarter, straighten up your crown. 70 words average, 5th grade reading level down. Yodel-ay, 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 ooh. Forever and always, that's the phrase breakthrough. Yodel-ay, 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 ooh. Daughter, wife, and dad, simple text designs will make your customers glad. Now listen here, mein friends. Take fragment 1 from here, fragment 2 from there. Stack them like the mountain peaks, so beautiful and rare. Personalization, that's the secret weapon now. Add a name, a date, an image, let me tell you how. Greeting card format with emotional message clear. Top performing fragments from the data we hold dear. Phrase playbook magic, it's all proven true. Yodelay, 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 ooh. Stack them fragments high, make those merchants money, watch those orders fly. If they cry, they'll buy, that's the golden rule. Welcome to the phrase playbook, ShineOn secret tool. Yodelay, yodelay, yo, 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 yo. Q4 and we about to get paid 960 billion, that's the retail trade. 68 days till Christmas is here. Pick one platform, pick one niche, make it clear. One method, that's the formula, son. 80% research till the battle is won. Don't chase revenue, chase output goals. Upload them products, let the profit roll. If they cry, they buy, baby, that's the rule. Phrases pay the bill, that's the merchant's tool. Franken-phrase it up, flip it with AI. If they feel it's real, watch your sales get high. To my wife, that's 50% of the game. To my daughter, 30%. Remember the name, break it down to fragments. Stitch it back together, make them cry with your copy. You'll be printing money forever. Don't write original, that ain't the move. Resort was working, get into the groove. ChatGPT's your homie, flip that phrase around. Personalize the product, that's how you lock it down. If they cry, they buy, baby, that's the rule. Phrases pay the bill, that's the merchant's tool. Franken-phrase it up, flip it with AI. If they feel it's real, watch your sales get high. Q4's here, time to shine bright. Keep it simple, make them cry, you'll be alright.
Was man, how are we doing today, party peoples? Are we having fun yet, or what? Let me know how many of you basically only show up for the music now, huh? I look forward to doing that every single week. Like the Friday morning when I start jamming out all the tunes, figuring out like what the track lineup is going to be. It's the funnest part of my whole putting together the slides and everything. It's just so much fun. What's up, Chris? How are we doing? Hope you're doing good. Luna, I saw saw the encouragement. You were digging it. I was actually thinking I'm actually thinking about putting together like an album to release with a Black Friday offer. We're thinking about doing some kind of Black Friday offer. And I was thinking about putting together an album as like a bonus for it. I'm curious how many of you would like to have an album of all these songs that we've created. I'm very curious. Michelle says it's fun. Yeah, it's a blast. Excuse me, guys. I still got some part of that cold is just hanging on to me here. Greetings from Seoul. What's up? So happy to have you. That's amazing. Luna says we need an album. Say it's awesome. Y'all know how to get it started. Heck yeah, definitely a bonus. I need a track when I'm doing phrase research. Are you making them in Suno? Shh. Don't give away our secret, man. ShineOn's greatest hits 2025 world tour. That would be cool. Do it. Yes, me. Ringtones. Yeah. Album would be fun. It'd be rad. That's awesome. That's so cool. I've got a really cool one for you guys today. Let me pull it up. We're going to be doing a Q4 boot camp. I do these probably twice a year. And I repeat kind of the fundamentals of what makes successful products, right? So whether you're new or experienced, you should watch this. It's always good to refresh on the fundamentals. And if you can execute on the fundamentals consistently over and over and over again, you will stack and increase your chances of success. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed. Print on demand's a skill. It requires like luck and risk and all kinds of things. However, practicing the fundamentals over and over again is how you get good at something. It's how you build a skill, right? So the stuff I cover here, I really consider it vitally important to success in the print on demand space. So I think you're gonna like that. I do need to let you know that I've got a hard stop in about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And so we are going to move really fast through all of this. If you have questions as I go, and I drop them in the comments. If I see them, I'll try to pause and address your questions really quick. But does this sound good to everybody? We're going to do Q4 boot camp. We're going to go over fundamentals of what makes a winning or a successful product. Whether you're new or experienced, I think you'll get a lot out of today. Excuse me. Okay. Do me a favor, like the post. If you like the music, like the post. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Doesn't cost you a thing. It helps us a lot in the algorithm. It helps us with discoverability, and I always really appreciate it. Our swag winners this week. First up, we got Leslie Palmer. OMG, it happened. I got a sale. Thought I was dreaming, and then the cha-ching went off. Congratulations, Leslie. That's amazing. I love seeing first sales in the group. It's truly a paradigm shifting moment. Someone is going to be reaching out to you from my team, and you've got some swag coming your way. Next up, we got Natalie. Got my first sale as part of the first sale challenge a few days ago. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Michael, Tammy, for the continuous encouragement and education. Way to go, Natalie. Great job. That's amazing. I'm telling you, this is possible for anybody. Doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter if you got a full-time job, you're a stay-at-home mom. We've seen people that were electricians succeed with this. Andy, who is now teaching in the community, he's a plumber. The guy's a plumber. He plunged toilets and stuff, right? And now he's had success in the e-com space. So this is possible for anybody. So Natalie, thank you so much for sharing your win here. That's just incredible. Next, we have Julian. Hey, everyone, I'm facing a dilemma. I made my first sale thanks to my first Facebook campaign. Shopify classified this transaction as high risk, blah, blah, blah. So Julian got first sale. Amazing. Congratulations and kudos. The second part of his question here is actually not a risk. Shopify kind of does this all the time. They'll flag orders is high risk, but as long as the transaction comes through, you're good. I've never actually had to worry about it. But congratulations, Julian. I think I said Julio a minute ago. Julian. I think it's Julian. Thank you so much for sharing that. You got some swag coming your way. Real quick, I'm going to jump all the way to the end of my slides here because somebody mentioned the first sale challenge. And I want to make sure you all know how to get it if you want it. So I'm going to be reviewing this again later in the deck. Like towards the end of the live stream, actually. But if you are interested in the first sale challenge, it's like $5, I think, to join it. You can get in at ShineOnChallenge.com, right? So if you're brand new, just starting out, you're trying to figure out how to set up your store, how to get products going, where you run your ads, how do you get this first sale, ShineOnChallenge.com is where you want to go. And we will help you out. We've had tons of students go through it now. We've had a lot get successful and get their first sale. Q4 is the best time to be leaning into this and trying to develop this skill because buyers are activated right now because of Christmas, right? So now is a perfect time to do this if you're interested in building your print on demand skills. Okay, let me pop all the way back up here. Okay. Let's go over some latest news real quick. So we announced our Q4 competition. You have the chance to win a sword. People, a literal sword. Didn't you hear the song at the beginning? You can win a sword, a literal sword. If you sell 5,000 units in Q4, you can actually win a sword. Now, these swords, by the way, are freaking cool. So I actually have one right here. This is my first 5,000 units at ShineOn. They sent me this sword as a token of the achievement, right? And these swords are what we're going to be sending out. I don't know that they're going to be exactly like this, but I mean, they're full length swords. They're decorative. You're going to get a wall mount, kind of like hang it on your wall. I don't have the wall mount because I like to leave it back here because sometimes when I'm on meetings and stuff like that, people think it's a real sword. Now it makes me feel cool. So I always leave it back here, but they're really neat. They're engraved. So this has got the old ShineOn logo on it because I got this back before we rebranded. And it also will have your name, your store name. It'll say 5K on there. They're really freaking cool, right? People love these when we gave them away before. So we just thought, hey, what the hey, we'll bring them back, right? You think that's pretty cool? Give me a sword emoji in the chat if you think the swords are cool. I love them. I think they're amazing. Sword emoji in the chat if you think these are cool. Sword emoji in the chat if you think those are cool. All right. We also launched a ton of products. I'm going to go through these super quick. We have the 18K yellow gold pendant cross. We have the rotating rose box. This thing is super cool. It's great on video. You need to check it out. We got the red heart rose box. This is probably the thing I'm most excited about that we've done over the last year, even though we've done a ton of stuff. The red heart rose box, just someone is going to crack open a product with this and they're just going to take this thing to the friggin' moon. And it's got incredible AOVs. That's what I'm mostly excited about. This thing is probably going to smash for Valentine's Day, right? I fully expect we're going to sell a ton of these for Valentine's Day. So anyway, I think this one's cool. The engraved four-sided stick necklace. I actually had a song that I didn't end up playing today about selling the engraved four-sided stick to guys named Rick. The lyrics are awesome. Anyway, we have the engraved screwdriver keychain. So this one's pretty cool. This is great for upsell, post purchase, cross sells, things like that. We have the scripted love necklace here. Sorry, guys. Okay, we have 5 new acrylic ornament shapes. Come on, it's Christmas. In December, you should be somebody. Anyway, should be able to sell a bunch of these. You get the right angle on it. You put this in front of the right niche at the right price. It's probably going to take off, right? Obviously, nothing's guaranteed. Printed acrylic blocks. These are really cool. We have some people who are selling canvas, like artwork and stuff, and they're exploring these. They really like these as kind of a new angle and to supplement the products on their store. So it's kind of neat. We thought we'd launch it publicly and see what you guys can do with it. The engraved map jewelry necklace, you add this to your store. We built the little component that's going to go on the your product page, so someone can go right in and address, and it'll automatically draw the map. So that's pretty cool. And then we engrave it, and you can sell it. So really neat. Oh shoot! Someone said they can't see the products on the screen. Of course you can't. Oh my gosh! Can't believe this. All right, I'm going to do it super quick. So we have the yellow gold cross pendant. We've got the rotating rose box. We have the red heart rose box. This is the one that I told you is like my favorite. Someone's going to crush her with this. We have the engraved four-sided stick necklace, right? Engraved screwdriver keychains. We have the scripted love necklace. We have 5 acrylic ornament shapes. We got like the dog paw, the Christmas tree, the star, the circle, the heart. We have the printed acrylic blocks. And then we have the engraved map necklace. So I think this is where I left off when I realized I didn't have the slides up. Now we have the engraved horizontal bar necklace, which is this one. Guys, these are all products we just launched in like the last 10 weeks or something. We have the engraved rectangle keychain. And we have the engraved luxury heart bangle. It says new today as new last week. The engraved, I copied these slides from last week. The engraved luxury heart bangle. I'm pretty bullish on bangles. My first winning product at ShineOn was a bangle. Nobody sells them anymore, but they crushed it for me back in the day. Okay. Now, if you ever feel like you missed anything, you want to get caught up, you want to see what's going on in ShineOn land, go into the Facebook group, hit featured at the very top. It'll show you everything we've thought was announcement worthy, or go to the announcements and changelog, and you can scan that, and we'll catch you up there too. All right, do me a favor, please. If you like the music, if you like the content we bring you every single week, if you like the products we've launched, anything, right? We would sincerely appreciate your review on the App Store. So I'm going to actually share my screen. Let's see. How do I do it? Share. Guess I got to stop what I'm doing. Okay. We would sincerely appreciate your honest review on the Shopify App Store. So to do it, go to apps.shopify.com. By the way, if you could do this now, right? We would really appreciate it. You don't have to. Right? Only if you feel like we've earned it. We want to earn your 5-star review, people. Apps.shopify.com. Then when you get here, you can type ShineOn. We should show up right here in the little drop down. Click that. If you scroll all the way to the bottom here and you click write a review, this is what we'd like you to do. Now, you should be logged into your store and you won't get this little pop-up. But if you could just click write a review and then leave us an honest review, I cannot tell you how much we would appreciate it. So quick backstory on this. We had like 2,500 reviews. And back in May, for some reason, Shopify nuked like 2,000 of our reviews. And it wasn't just us. They like hit a bunch of other people too. But, it takes us. We're not as big as Printify and Printful. It took us a long time to build up those review profiles. And we can't build them back as fast as they can. So we would just really appreciate the help here. If you believe in the underdog, if you believe in what we're doing here, if you like anything that we're delivering on a weekly basis, if you could just go leave us a review, I can't tell you how much we'd appreciate it. So thank you very much. Okay. Let me get back over here. All right. Dawn did the review last week. Thank you so much. We sincerely appreciate it. Todd left a review last week. Thank you very much, Todd. Very much appreciate that. Okay. Are you guys ready for the Digital Marketer's Toast? You guys ready for this? Do you have a drink in hand? Every week, someone gets a cha-ching on their phone when we do the toast. Someone on Etsy decides they want to buy. It's a magical thing, people. I'm telling you. Raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks. Join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs, higher CTRs, much higher CVRs to enable ad accounts and big bank accounts, upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sales, to the thing that everybody knows, The riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Cheers, everybody. Drink up. There we go. Something about this feels oddly authentic today after the little pirate shanty that we played earlier. I don't know if you guys are feeling. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling like I should have a wooden mug here full of ale that I could drink, and I should have like salty waves blowing over my face here. Okay, enough of that. Let's get it on. Okay, by the end of today's Coffee with ShineOn, you're going to dig this. You're going to understand why you're absolutely insane and crazy and missing a few screws if you sit out Q4, right? I'm going to explain the incredible opportunity that's like here, now, right? I'm going to give you an easy 1-1-1 action plan to stay focused, right? I've got a really easy 1-by-1-by-1 plan that'll help you narrow down and stay focused. If you're new and you're just like drowning in all the information and there's shiny object syndrome everywhere, this is going to help you. I'm going to teach you a secret that makes buyers buy, right? I'm going to teach you something that makes buyers buy. Again, if you're new, it's going to be really important for you to stick around. And I'm going to help you learn how to identify and create winning phrases, right? Winning phrases are everything in this game. And we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to give you a super secret squirrel trick to make your product stand out from the crowd, right? Does that sound good? You spend an hour with me and you're going to walk away with all of this value, right? And hopefully you're going to be able to go turn around, implement it right away and take action, right? And see results. Okay. Everybody with me on this? I like to say the holiday pie belongs to the action takers. So this is only going to matter. This next hour here, the time we spend together is literally only going to matter if you take what you learn and then go put it into action, right? If you're with me, write action in the chat right now. I want a commitment from you that if you're going to stick with me, if I'm going to teach this to you for the next hour, if I'm going to sit up here and share all this with you, I want a commitment from you that you're actually going to put this into action. And if that's you, and if you're willing to make a public commitment, write action in the chat right now. Action in the chat right now. I'm going to call you out. We're going to do a little public accountability here. I believe this is Sanil, maybe Sanil. Action. I see you. Sorry, guys. Janice, I see you. Lisa, thank you. Matt, let's hold you to it. Susan, let's go. Julian. All right. Chris. Hey, Julian, I didn't even realize you were here. You got some swag coming your way. How about that? Pauline, action. Kimberly, very good. Leslie, I see you. Mother Bear is what I think that is. I gotcha. Sean, let's do it. Nazar, we have Chris here saying they're going to take some action. Shells, pups, yes. Joyce, Arthur, Todd, Sinise. Okay, very good. All right, man. This is a great crowd tonight. Today, this morning, whatever it is. Fantastic. Okay, here we go. You're going to dig this. Okay, so there are 48 days left until Christmas, right? 48 days left till Christmas. Our shipping cutoff is usually like 6 days before, 5 or 6 days before. So there's like 42 days left to selling. That's not very much time, people. I hope you're hearing this and you're going, and you're getting FOMO. Right? You should have FOMO right now. Fear of missing out, right? This should provoke you to action, right? You should feel urgency. I'm sharing this here because there's not a lot of time left, right? You need to take action. Now, I always get this question, how late is too late, right? Did I miss, my Q4 opportunity? I have 3 anecdotes for you. I have found 2 of my winning products in the month of December. I found one on like December 5th and the other one, I think, on like December 7th. And I ran one was my very first winning product. I ran it up to only like 150K in revenue in like 10 days or something like that. The other one, I ran up to like I think it was like $568,000 in revenue in 16 days. I found both those in December, right? Now, those are 2 anecdotes. The third one is Andrew. Plumber Andrew, the guy that teaches in our community, Andrew Vo, right? Andrew Vo found his winner in 2023, I think, on like December 9th, right? On December 9th. And he ran it up to 6 figures in revenue too, right? So it's possible. When you find a winner, they really take off, right? So it is possible to find your winner in December. So my advice is don't give up, man. The sales, the buyer activity only increases every single day all the way to the shipping cutoff, right? So just don't give up. Even if you find something 5 days before shipping cutoff, and sure, you're not going to have time to scale it to the moon. Scale it as high as you can. And then guess what? You have Valentine's Day and Mother's Day to get a second and a third bite of the apple, right? So just don't give up, right? That's the message here. Just don't give up, right? I need to caveat all of this with, success isn't guaranteed. This is a skill. Your results are going to vary. It's going to require time, effort. You're going to have to risk some of your money on Facebook ads. You may not get that back. Unfortunately, it may require a little bit of luck. This is the game, though. This is the game we're playing in print on demand and as we run up into Q4. Okay. So Q4 is officially here. I want to give you some perspective on how big this holiday is. So this is Google Trends for personalized gifts, looking at 2024. Here's the little Valentine's Day bump over here. Here's the Mother's Day bump right here. Here's your Father's Day bump right here. And then here's Christmas, right? Christmas just dwarfs everything else in terms of demand. And by the way, Mother's Day is still massive. It is still huge for us. It's the second biggest holiday of the year. And Christmas just absolutely dwarfs it. So I actually could not find a chart that showed expected retail spend in 2025. I actually think they're anticipating retail spend is going to come down a little bit in 2025. But as you can see, it's almost $1 trillion is going to pour into the retail market for holiday spending in Q4. $1 trillion. $1 trillion, people. Like that's a very difficult amount of money to wrap your head around. That's a lot of money. It's not a little bit of money. It's a ton of freaking money that's about to pour into the market. And that's because you have people, they claim that people, or I read a stat that said that people on average are going to spend like $1,000 per person on gifts this year. That means everybody that's buying the average person that's going to be buying gifts for Christmas is going to spend over $1,000 on those gifts, right? And Christmas is one of those fun little holidays where you buy a gift for everybody you know. You buy a gift for your wife and your kids, and then your mom and your dad, and then your mother-in-law and your father-in-law, and then your aunts and your uncles and your cousins and your nieces and your nephews and your friends. And it's like one person ends up buying 25 gifts, right? That's why Christmas is such a cool holiday for print-on-demand merchants, right? Especially in our space, man. We have these unique, sentimental gifting items that are just perfect for this holiday. You have two perennial best-selling products that we smashed together at ShineOn. You have the greeting card, which is like its own, multi-billion-dollar industry. And then you have jewelry, which is another billion-dollar industry. And we're putting them together and we're creating this unicorn shortcut product that nobody else has, right? Man, you should feel pumped up about that. That means you have an edge in the market. Are you getting pumped by this? Are you seeing this? People, right? Pumped in the chat right now. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, pumped in the chat. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, let's keep going. So U.S. holiday sales set to top 1 trillion for the first time ever. This is November 6th, 2025. Insane. Now I'm going to try to help you understand how much money this is. I'm going to do an imperfect job, but I'm trying to get your head wrapped around the opportunity. Another question I constantly get is like, is the market too saturated? It's like, dude, you do not understand how much money this is if you think you can saturate this by having a few thousand people trying to sell little message card jewelries, right? Like this is just an unfathomable, it's an incomprehensible number for a normal person to get their head around. Okay. Your competition is not somebody else watching this live stream that's going to go sell ShineOn jewelry. Your competition is somebody choosing to go to Walmart to buy something instead of buying online, right? That's really your competition here. This cannot, I don't think this can be saturated. Personal opinion, right? Okay, so another way of saying $1 trillion is saying $1 million, which I know doesn't really help. Here's another way you can think about it. With $1 trillion, we could buy literally every private jet in the world. If we had $1 trillion, we could buy literally every private jet in the world. That's Nancy Pelosi's jet, Elon Musk's jet. That's Taylor Swift's, 3 or 4 jets that she owns. And we'd still have $669 billion left over. You guys with me on this? With $1 trillion, we buy all the jets, and we still haven't even spent half the money. It's insane. Here's another way of thinking about it. I found this island for sale online. They want $160 million for the island. If we had $1 trillion, we could buy 6,250 of these. I could give everybody on this call a couple islands, like a handful of islands for each of you, and probably your own jet to boot, right? That's how much $1 trillion is. And that $1 trillion is about to pour into the retail market because people are going to start buying gifts. Right now, look, I'm sharing all of this for educational purposes only, right? I can't guarantee your results. Your results are going to vary. Nothing here is guaranteed. I want you to understand, I'm not saying that if you go out and you sell this product, you are in fact guaranteed to make money. I got to be super abundantly clear about that, right? That's just not how this works, okay? So I want to be super clear. Everybody understands. I'm not saying, go put your life savings on black and spin the wheel. That's not what I'm saying, guys, okay? You need to understand. I'm sharing this for educational purposes only. I'm just trying to get you to understand the opportunity of the retail spend coming into the market and why Q4, if you're going to do this, if you're going to try to develop this skill, if you're going to try to build your e-com store, this is the best time of the whole year to try to do it. That's all I'm saying. All right. That's all I'm saying. You guys with me? You guys with me on that? I hope you're with me on that. Okay. Here's a question. I want you to answer one question. Do winning products really take off from day one? I have a design that's extremely well according to the metrics, but no sales. How long do I wait? Look, it's a little bit of a difficult question to answer because a lot of this depends on your store setup and things like that. But in my experience, and in my experience talking to many other merchants, yes, winning products, assuming, you have nothing glaringly wrong with your store, your funnel, or anything like that, winning products do kind of just reveal themselves and they just take off. It's like guys, I struggle to explain the experience of having a winning product. I always compare it to fishing. I'm like, it's like catching a whale, right? Imagine you're on a boat in the ocean. You got a rod and a reel, and you've got your line cast out into the water. Like, you are going to be able to tell the difference between catching, a 6-foot barracuda or a, 120-foot blue whale, right? Because if you catch a whale, you're going swimming. You're not in control anymore, right? It takes you for a ride. And that is, kind of the experience of catching a winner. Now, I want to be clear. Winners come on a spectrum. They're not all these like huge whales. You know what I mean? Some of the winners are kind of smaller and they don't have as much momentum. But usually if you hit a winner, it does kind of reveal itself. And you kind of know, right? Winners put you in this place where like you constantly feel like you're behind. Like you're just trying to stay caught up with it. And at least my experience always, anytime I have a winner, is like I always feel like I'm kind of leaving money on the table because I don't have everything perfectly optimized, right? Hopefully that answers the question. Let's keep going here. All right. So this is ShineOn order volume by day for Q4. Now I want to be clear. I think I took this data a couple years ago. Like this is something I made and I've reused quite a bit, but like I could literally just like layer this on top of every single year. I mean, the trajectory looks almost identical every single year. So here's where we are. This is November 7th. Here is peak sales, right? You can see sales are going to do nothing but go up from here until shipping cutoff, right? Right? That's why now is a great time to be doing this boot camp and a great time for you to take action. Okay. Are you ready for your action plan? I want action plan in the chat now. Give me action plan in the chat now if you're ready. ShineOn Jet upcoming. No. Nope. We've joked about getting a helicopter before, but we are not serious. We don't have that kind of money. I wish. It'd be pretty cool. I hear you knocking. Oh, yeah. Action plan. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. Okay, you're going to get a lot out of this. I hope you have notepads and pens handy. You are going to get a lot out of this. Okay, let's go. So, mindset. Here's my 1 by 1 by 1 plan. You ready? Pick one platform, pick one niche. Spend 80% of your time on product research, phrase bank building, phrase creation. Set focused outputs and not revenue goals. And by the way, we're going to kind of cover all of this. I'm just mindset. This is the mindset you need kind of going into this, right? Pick one platform. If you're new, don't drown in all the information you're getting, right? Just pick one platform. I am always a Meta Facebook guy. That's kind of where I cut my teeth. It's where I feel most comfortable. I like Meta. Some people like TikTok, and that's fine, man. If TikTok is where you spend your time when you're online, TikTok's probably a great spot for you. Etsy's a great option too. You know, like not everybody wants to do the media buying thing where you're running ads and stuff. That's okay. Then do Etsy. But whatever it is, just pick one. Okay. Next, I like to encourage people, pick one niche. So I'm going to share with you the biggest niches in a moment, right? But pick one niche. Just pick one niche and like triple down on that thing. And because like if you don't pick a niche, you're never going to learn your audience, right? You need to pick a single niche and go after it and really get to understand what makes your audience buy and start sharpening your skills there. Speaking to the niche, creating products that they want to buy, right? So pick one niche. Now, I know I'm going to get this question. It's like, okay, should I just open my store then and only have, daughter gifts on my store? I'm not sure that's what I'm saying. Like when you start a store, you need to like kind of seed it with, like if you're in the family niche or whatever, you need to seed it with like other kinds of family products. I'm just saying, like after you have 20, 25 products on the store and the store looks like legit and, you've got, it's a well-rounded store. As soon as you get to that point, then just like triple down on the daughter stuff till you get it figured out. That's what I'm saying here. Okay. Spend 80% of your time on product research. So look, everything comes down to the phrase. Your ability to succeed here is not going to come down to how cool your logo is or what brand colors you picked. It's going to entirely come down to your ability to develop like really great taste for great products, right? You have to learn how to make great products, right? So you need to spend 80% of your time at least doing product research and seeing what works in the marketplace, doing phrase research and creating phrases, right? This is where you need to spend the majority of your time. We are in a product game, not a logo game, not a brand colors game, not a conversion rate optimization type of game. You don't need to build your store and rebuild it 17 times. Don't do that, right? This is where you need to be spending most of your cycles. This is where this is the boring work. This is the grind, but it's where all the money's made. Okay. And then finally set output focused goals, not revenue goals. So a lot of people, they go, I'm going to make $100,000, this Q4. And then they just drown, right? It's like they don't have a clear path to get there. It's discouraging to look at your $100,000, Q4 goal and be at zero. You know what I mean? And so like, that's a revenue goal. You don't really want that kind of goal. Set an output focused goal. So what I would recommend is set goals around the number of new products you want to upload. We have the 100, 100, 100 challenge going on. I'm going to share more about that later. The whole idea there is you do starting 100 days out, you launch one product a day for 100 days for 100 chances to win, right? It's an output focused challenge, right? That's what I encourage all of you to do. So set output focused goals, number of products uploaded per day, per week, things like that. Number of new ads ran, for example. You can set your own, but output focused goals are going to help you win. Okay, let's do this. Step one, pick a platform. Facebook, TikTok, Etsy, Amazon. I kind of covered this already. I've kind of got some pros and cons here of each of them. Just for the sake of time, I'm probably going to skip over that. If you're watching this online later, you can pause and and read these, but pick one platform and then stay in this platform at least until you've generated $10,000 in revenue, right? You do not get to leave the platform until you've generated $10,000 in revenue. You got to get good at it, guys. You got to get good at it. You need to earn the right to go experiment with other platforms. Okay. I'm telling you, if you don't do this, you don't box yourself in, you're going to get halfway up the Facebook mountain. Then you're going to go all the way back down. And you're going to try the TikTok mountain. Then you're going to get halfway up that. You're going to go all the way down. And then you're going to go over to Etsy. And you're going to start your climb all freaking over again. I've seen this so many times, guys. Just pick one until you've earned at least $10,000 in revenue, which is you get to go try another platform, get out of jail thing, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so commit to it and then stick with it. But most importantly, do not give up, right? Do not give up. It is, no matter what platform you pick, guys, it's going to be hard. You're going to have failures. Just know that right now. Just accept that right now. It's going to be hard. There are going to be failures. There's stuff you're going to have to learn. There's trials you're going to have to overcome. There's problems you're going to have to solve. Dude, it's going to be true whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Meta, Amazon, whatever else, right? Every single one of these is going to have its own problem, okay? Hey, I got something else to tell you. Get used to it, man. This is part of being an entrepreneur. Dude, as an entrepreneur, do you want to know how I describe what an entrepreneur is? Like if someone comes to me, they're like, hey, what's an entrepreneur? My son, he's like, hey, daddy, what's an entrepreneur? You know what I'd say? I'd say it's somebody that just solves one problem after another until they die. That's like the entire, that's being an entrepreneur. You solve one problem after another until you die. That's a whole gig, right? That is it in a nutshell. And you should guys, don't get depressed by that. That's not why I'm saying it. Just accept it right now. Accept it now. It's going to be so much easier if you can just accept that now and just kind of lean into that. It's going to feel so much better if you can just kind of lean into that while you're going through it. Then if you glamorize what being an entrepreneur is, and then you discover this halfway up the mountain that, oh, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. Of course it's hard. It's like 90% of businesses fail. What do we think this is? You know what I'm saying? Someone says that's depressing. It's freeing. See, I look at this totally differently. I think it's freeing, right? It's like, yeah, I just think it's freeing to just acknowledge the pain and then lean into it. Pain feels better when you can lean into it, I'll stop because I do have kind of a twisted, weird view on this stuff. I'm kind of like, you should just embrace suffering because of all of life is suffering. One of my favorite quotes in the world is from David Goggins. And he's running this marathon. His feet are bleeding. I mean, his shoes are turning red from the blood. And he looks like he's about to just fall over and die. And someone asked him if he's in a lot of pain. And he's like, yeah, I'm in a lot of pain. And he's like, well, don't you want to quit? And he's like, huh? He's like, why would pain make me quit? And I'm like, man, that is a perspective, right? That is a mindset right there. Why would pain make me quit? Right? I'm telling you, if you want to be a great entrepreneur, if you want to be a high agency individual, if you want to be somebody that's going to have impact that lasts generations, freaking get that in your brain. Why would pain make me quit? Right? You can get through anything if you have a mindset like that. Okay, I'm done. I love mindset stuff. I'll go way down a rabbit hole here. Don't give up. Okay, step 2. So step 1 is pick a platform. Step 2 is pick a niche. Pick one platform, pick one niche. Here are your top selling niches. To my wife, to my daughter. To my wife, to my daughter. These are your top selling niches. You probably heard earlier in a song, it said, to my wife. It was like, to my wife is the biggest booty. And everyone's like, they're saying my wife has a big booty or whatever. That actually wasn't what it's saying. It was a pirate shanty. Booty there means treasure. It's not talking about a butt. And it was, to my wife is the biggest booty. 50%. If you go back and listen to the lyrics, it says it's 50%, and it's pulling it from this right here. To my wife is roughly speaking, 50% of the sales, right? And then to my daughter's 30%. I got to tell you guys, this fluctuates. It depends on what time of year it is, what holiday people, this kind of fluctuates, but these are the best ones. But let me ask you a question real quick. If to my wife and to my daughter, the biggest niches, who's the biggest buyer? Are they male or female? Let me know in the chat right now. Who's the biggest buyer, male or female? Male or female? Who's the biggest buyer? Who is the biggest buyer? Male or female? Yeah, homes by where'd it go? Somebody, well, I'm trying to give someone some credit here. Homes by C-Line said male. That's 100% right. Everybody said male now, but yes, that's 100% right. Brooke, I don't know if you're still on, but I'd love to give this individual, $20 in Shine Cash just for participating. But yes, it's male. It's male. Homes by C-Line, $20 in Shine Cash coming at you. Julian says female. It's not female. I know it. This messes a lot of people up, right? Because it's jewelry, and you're like, of course, female are buying jewelry, but that's not really the case. The biggest buyer at ShineOn is men buying for women. Now, I do want to say something real quick. C-Line, Celine, is it Celine? So, well, forgive me. Sorry, it's not on purpose. Yeah. So when I say males are the biggest buyer, I want to be clear. They're like, when I say they're the largest buyer, I think it's by like 60% or 65%. So there's still ages, like there's a ton of female that still buy the products. I don't want anybody to think that like if you have a to my daughter gift from mom, that it's not going to work. That's not really what I'm saying, guys. There are a lot of people that sell a ton of those too. I'm just saying that males, husbands, and fathers in general are the biggest buyers, right? Okay, let's keep going here. My biggest recommendation if you're struggling with niche is try to pick one you can relate to. If you're married, maybe go with To My Wife. If you have a daughter, maybe go with To My Daughter, right? If you don't have any of that stuff and you only have friends, maybe go with To My Friend. Try to pick a niche you can relate to because it could give you some additional insight into what makes that niche tick. All right, there are also sub niches you can go into. So like an example of a sub niche is if you have To My Wife kind of at the top, you might have To My Soulmate, To My Fiance, To My Future Wife kind of nested underneath. And then some examples of daughter sub niches, bonus daughter, unbiological daughter. So you have some different ways you can kind of go, right? All right, let's talk about phrases. Everybody needs to write this down. Pause what you're doing, get out pen and paper, put this on your phone, type it into a notepad, wherever you got to put it. The phrase is 90% of a winning product. When it comes to creating winning, successful products, the phrase has got to be on point. The phrase is 90% of a winning product. The phrase is 90% of a winning product. I'm going to give you a couple seconds here. You need to write this down. Take a screenshot of this if you want. The phrase is 90% of a winning product. Okay? Okay. We have some ways we like to say that around here to help us remember this. We say, if they cry, they'll buy, baby. It's the phrase that pays, and if they feel, it's real. This was actually in the rap song that we were playing earlier. The rap song had like a really great chorus, by the way. If they cry, they buy. It's the phrase that pays, and if they feel, it's real, right? All of this is just trying to say it's the words on the card that does the heavy lifting. Okay. All right. So if you move the heart, you can potentially, hopefully, make this. Now, I want to be clear. I'm giving you a marketing lesson here, right? For educational purposes. This is a marketing lesson. This is one of the best, most powerful marketing lessons you'll ever learn, right? People buy, most of the time, buyer behavior is determined by psychology. And when you think about human psychology, people are moved by emotion, right? I'm like, obviously, I'm boiling a lot of stuff down, right? I'm skipping over a ton of nuance here. I'm kind of getting to first principles. Why do people do things? Usually it starts with an emotion, right? So if you can move the emotion, you can provoke them, persuade them. You have a better chance of getting them to buy. But it all starts with trying to move them at an emotional level. With me on this? By the way, think about this. At the beginning of this whole thing, you guys are engaged. The viewer count has barely dipped since we started this. I'm like an hour into this. Very few people. Well, I'll stop with that. You know how I got you? Dude, I just hooked you emotionally by talking about how we're going to buy private jets and stuff. Are you with me? Are you with me? I hooked you emotionally first because I want you to take action, right? This is just marketing 101. So if you're into advertising, you're into marketing, or you want to go onto marketing, you want to do a career in this, you got to write this down. Move somebody emotionally, and you can almost get them to do whatever you want after that. Now, you can use that for good or evil, but that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Okay, any emotion's fair game, by the way. Any emotion's fair game. You can make somebody feel sad with a remembrance gift. You can make them cry by like thinking about their daughter and you know, how much they love their daughter that just moved away to college. You can get them to laugh. You know, we actually had a product for years. I never thought this would work. I always told people stay away from humor when you're selling these jewelry items. And sure enough, Ronnie McKenzie and Sue Hale came up with this product that was totally vulgar. It had this image. I actually think I might have an image of this. It was totally vulgar. It was a image of it was an image of a guy on his side, naked, but he's got like a beer mug and he's holding a beer mug over his crotch. So you can't really, you know, see anything. And it's got a phrase on it that I cannot repeat. Okay. So check this out. This is not it. This is my recreation of it. I actually drew this. So, you know, this is not it, but it was basically like, I'm not a romantic guy, but I'll touch things on your body, right? That I have, you know, redacted, and I'm going to drink. I think it probably just said beer there, redacted. And I'm going to do a bunch of other things. And then at the end, it says, I love you and we'll give you the redacted tonight. Okay. I can't repeat that here. I'm not going to repeat that here. There are probably kids in the room somewhere. Just know it was filthy, right? But this freaking product took off. It actually sold really well. And the reason it sold well is it's shock value. You know, it was just shocking. And people laughed, and it became a gag gift in a way. So laughter can actually work somehow. So how about that? All right. Anger can work too. You see this work mostly on like t-shirts and stuff, political t-shirts and things. You know, like you put a political phrase on a t-shirt and it'll sell like hotcakes. Right now, I could take a blank t-shirt and I could just put lock her up on it. Right. And that thing will just freaking sell like gangbusters. It's just ridiculous. I could probably take another t-shirt and I could put Trumponomics on it like that, or and put something about tariffs, you know, destroying the economy or something. And that thing would freaking take off, right? Take any political thing. I don't care what side you are. I'm not making a statement about left or right or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, if you want to piss people off, just say something political. It's that easy. Put it on a t-shirt. Chances are people are going to buy it. And then you also have love, right? So this is just like to my wife, to my future wife, to my fiance, whatever, all that stuff. Okay, is this helpful so far? Let me know if this is helpful in the chat. We're going to get into how to write winning phrases next. Let me know if this is helpful in the chat. Sophie says his account got banned for it. Did it really? He sold a lot of them before it got banned. I remember. It was really funny. Oh, he did get banned, huh? How do you guys know this? Are you in his group or something? How do I not know that? Michael, do you think adding a niche to message card works? Well, a necklace made for guitarist wife. Honestly, I wouldn't start there. It's that's probably good for like t-shirts or other products like wall art or something like that. I wouldn't start there with our product. Okay. I'm not saying it won't work. I've learned my lesson enough, you know, saying things won't work and then someone goes and proves me wrong. But like, you know, you got to think the difference between to my wife and to my guitarist wife, right? Like the difference in audience size there is like, it's like in the millions. You're excluding 98% of your target market as soon as you do something like that. So I'm not saying it won't work, but I probably wouldn't start there. Everybody's getting value. All right. Can't wait for the pirate wife booty. You guys, that's not what it said. Do we need to listen to that part of the song again? Give me a pirate in the chat if you guys want to listen to that part of the song again. I'm selling wall art. I've sold about 5, but want a winner design now. My sales are very inconsistent right now. Yeah, my best advice is you just got to test a lot, man. You got to test a lot. Lots of phrases. Phrases are where it's at. I'm telling you, phrases are where it's at. Okay. So look, the goal of our phrase research, of everything I'm about to show you, the goal is to build something called a phrase bank. So this is an example of a phrase bank. This is a Trello board. And in Trello, you can make lists. And then inside a list, you can have cards, right? So here's a card, here's a card, here's a card, here's a card. And the idea here is that you need to go do phrase research. And when you see phrases, you need to break your phrases into fragments, take those fragments and put them in a phrase bank. Now, it doesn't have to be Trello. It's just what I like to use. You can use a Google Doc. You can use a spreadsheet. You can use a 3x5 note cards. It doesn't really matter, right? But you need to, somewhere you got to capture all the research that you're doing. Now, I have an incredible resource I'm going to be sharing with you at the end of this. So you're going to want to pick up, because I looked at over 700,000 orders and I found the top selling phrases, and I put them in a list for you. So I'm giving you a shortcut on this, but you need to know how to build a phrase bank. Someone says they use Excel. Yeah, it's a great place to do it. Now, you can do product research virtually anywhere. Okay. Pinterest, Google Shopping, Hallmark. If you do something like Hallmark, again, make sure what you're testing is not like copyrighted or trademarked or something. Like, you need to change it a little bit. Amazon, Google Trends, Etsy. This is Google Images, eBay, Facebook, AdSpy, and you can actually look at other Shopify stores as well. Okay, so when you're doing your phrase research, you're going to come across a phrase, right? Like, even if you were to take, well, this phrase isn't very big, but you're going to come across phrases. And a lot of times, you're going to see that a lot of what's working on message cards today are pretty long phrases. Like you've got probably 5 to 8 sentences per phrase on the message card. And those tend to be working really well. So your phrase is going to be big and kind of lengthy like this. And your goal is going to be to read the phrase and then identify all the phrase fragments. Now, the phrase fragments are just parts of the phrase. They're like their own complete thought. They could kind of stand on their own, right? You could take it out and then mix and match it with other phrases or other phrase fragments, and it would work. So just an example of what this might look like without any words, because I don't want to confuse you yet. You have fragment 1, fragment 2, and fragment 3 in this phrase. It's just an example of how this one phrase could break up. Maybe you have 3 fragments in here, kind of like that. I'm going to do a real example now, right? So hopefully everybody's getting this concept. I'm going to give you a real example with words now, right? So you're going to take your phrase, break it up into fragments. So here's how we do this on a real example. It says, to my wife, never forget that I love you. I wish I could turn back the clock so I could find you sooner and love you longer. If I could give you one thing in life, I give you the ability to see yourself through my eyes. Only then would you realize how special you are to me. I loved you then. I love you still. Always have, always will. Right? So this is like a big phrase. Okay. And this might pop up in your phrase research. You might see a product like this taken off. Now, you need to develop the skill to look at that and then start chopping it up. Right? And this is kind of like, guys, in a way, this is like cooking. Everybody's cooked here. It's like being able to get served a dish at a restaurant. And you have this dish, and I'm going to totally make this up. You got rice, and you've got celery in it, and chicken in it, and peas, and all kinds of stuff. You need to be able to look at the dish and kind of pick apart what the ingredients are, right? You need to say, okay, I got some rice here. I've got some chicken. I got some peas. There's a sauce on it. I taste some salt. You know what I mean? That's kind of what you're doing is you're getting served a dish. This is like a dish, and they're going to pull the ingredients out of it, right? Hopefully it's making sense. So here's an example. We have one phrase fragment here. Never forget that I love you. You could pluck that out, mix and match it with other phrase fragments. It will work. It'll stand on its own. I wish I could turn back the clock so I could find you sooner and love you longer. It's another phrase fragment you could pull out of here. Here's another one. If I could give you one thing in life, I'd give you the ability to see yourself through my eyes. Only then would you realize how special you are to me. I loved you then. I love you still. Always have, always will. Right. So we've got at least 4 phrase fragments that we can pull out of this. Now, again, now that you have the ingredients, like the fragments are like ingredients, you can go mix together a new dish. Right. That's kind of the idea. You can go blend and mix together a new phrase fragment. I think I've got another I don't. Yeah, okay. I've got some more. I've got kind of another example of how you could do this here in a minute. So one thing to note is that the quality of your phrases is going to equal the quality of your phrase research. So your ability to make great products is going to come down to how well you do your product research and how well you do your phrase research, right? You want to build a phrase bank full of really powerful phrases that work well in our space, okay? So hopefully it's making sense to everybody. Now I'm going to give you 2 methods to create your own phrases, right? 2 methods to create your own phrases. So before I get into this, I need you to know something. If you're new, and I mean this with love, You're not a songwriter. You're not a poet. You're not an author. Please do not write your own original unique phrases. Please don't do that. Use one of my methods I'm about to teach you here to come up with phrases. Okay. By the way, I'm giving you these methods for free. It's not like I'm going to even sell you to it. I only succeed at ShineOn if you succeed, right? And I'm trying to tell you what I've seen work for lots of people. So I'm not trying to trick you here. The thing is, every time I've seen somebody come into this with kind of their ego and they go, I'm not doing this phrase research hubbub. These phrases are cheesy, right? Like, I'm going to write my own phrases. Every time they fail. I don't think I've ever seen anybody pull that off successfully. Okay. So please, I'm trying to help you here. Don't think you know better. Okay. If you want to eventually take a swing at writing your own phrases, fine, but at least wait until you've earned like $10,000 in revenue before you do it. That's all I'm asking, right? Do kind of what I'm teaching you here, stick to the fundamentals, then go do that. Now, I'm not saying you can't take a phrase or phrase fragments and then tweak them a little bit. Not saying that. I'm just saying, please, for the love of all things that are good, do not sit down with a pen and a blank piece of paper and go sit out under a tree and wait for the muse to hit you and then write like your own fresh original thing. I'm telling you, it's going to flop. It's going to flop. So please do not write your own original phrases. I mean it in love. Okay, develop an ear for what's working and then get fancy. Develop an ear for what works, then get fancy with it, okay? Imitate before you innovate. Imitate before you innovate, okay? All right, so method one. Method one is what I call Franken-phrasing, okay? Franken-phrasing. So what you're going to do, you're going to look at a bunch of complete phrases, and you're going to kind of take fragments from each one and then mix and match them in a new way that hasn't been done before. So here's an example. Pretend you got 4 phrases here. You got this one, this one, this one, and this one. What you're going to do is you're going to take like this fragment here, and this fragment over here, and this fragment over here, and this fragment right here, and then you're going to stack them. Okay, here you go. You're going to maybe pull that one in there, and 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 now you've got a new unique phrase nobody's seen before, right? Easy peasy. Again, it's kind of like cooking. Get your fragments, those are your ingredients, mix them all together, make some new dish nobody's ever seen before. That's the idea. So if you do this right, you could have a totally new, unique, original phrase no one's ever seen before, but it was put together with elements of things that already are proven to win and move people emotionally. Got me? It's like magic. Pretty easy. Do you think you can do this? Let me know in the chat if you think you can do this. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Let me know in the chat if you think you can do this. Got a yes from Samantha, Michelle, Zora, Pauline, Himan. Oh, yeah. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay. All right. So that's method one, Franken-phrasing, right? Method two, I call this one phrase flipping. So here's the idea. You got a phrase or a phrase fragment, and then you kind of rewrite that phrase or phrase fragment without losing the essence of what made it work. So you got to be able to read a fragment and kind of think about it and go, why does this move me emotionally? Is it this phrase? Is it that? Is it a memory that it provokes or whatever? Then you're going to kind of like rewrite the phrase while trying to maintain the original essence of it. This is kind of like the telephone game, except you're doing it with phrases, right? So you have flip one, flip two, right? Now I got to tell you, a couple years ago, to pull this off, you literally had to rewrite these, or like, I'm not kidding you. People would actually go to like Upwork and they'd pay other people to do the phrase flipping. But here's the cool part, right? You don't have to write the new phrases yourself anymore. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news lately, but there's this thing called ChatGPT, right? And ChatGPT is actually really freaking good at doing this for you. So now you can go to ChatGPT and you can dump in a phrase fragment or a phrase, and you can say, hey, can you like paraphrase this, or can you rewrite this, but only change 20% of it or something like that? Like, you can give it some instruction and it will sit there and it'll do that forever. It'll never get tired. for as long as you can like keep hitting enter and reprompting it, it'll keep writing it, right? Which is pretty incredible. Pour one out for all the Upwork writers, unfortunately, but it's really incredible. So I actually have an example of me doing this that I'm going to share with you now. So I found, oh, by the way, here's some other ways you can kind of prompt ChatGPT real quick. Can you paraphrase it? Can you make it rhyme? Can you make it shorter? Can you give me 10 variations? Yeah. Okay, so here's an example of me actually doing this with a phrase. So I found this phrase on a jewelry item. It says, I've only been with you for a little while. I can't speak the words I love you, so I say them with a smile. When you hold me close to you, your love is what I feel. Although I can't hold you back yet, my love for you is real. When you talk or sing to me, your love is what I hear. And when I coo, what I'm saying is, I love you, mommy dear. Pretty cute. It's pretty cute, right? If you got a daughter or a kiddo, a little baby, you'll feel that. Wouldn't shock me if it pulls at your heartstrings a little bit. We've actually had a merchant watching this before say their eyes got wet and they cried. Right? Not uncommon. So what I did was I just dumped it for illustration's sake. I just dumped this into ChatGPT and I was like, hey, rewrite this freaking thing. Right? And here's what it came back with. You ready? It says, I've not been here long, but I've got something to say. I can't say I love you out loud, so I smile in my own way. When you hug me tight, I feel your love, warm and true. I just can't hug back yet, but I love you through and through. When you talk or sing, it's your love I hear coming through. And when I make little coos, I'm saying, Mom, I love you too. Dude, tell me that is not fire, man. Tell me that's not awesome. Dude, if you put this on the right product, you put it in the right put it in front of the right person at the right time at the right price. You know, I don't want to say they'd buy, but you know, the chances feel good to me. If I had the little 8-ball here, magic 8-ball, it would give me good news, I think. Right? Yeah. Dude, this is just what, you know, ChatGPT, these are the tools you have at your disposal. Someone asked what the prompt is. I don't remember what the prompt was. It probably was literally like, paraphrase this, right? By the way, these tools, you don't need to go crazy with the prompt. Like, I had a buddy and I were actually talking about this the other day. That like, I'm in this place where I was writing all these prompts, right? Like, I'd write a prompt and I would tell ChatGPT, you know, make this prompt better. And then it would give me the structured output. And I'd go prompt ChatGPT with like, you know, a page worth of instruction. And then I remember I saw this YouTube video of this guy who's like a data analyst, right? And he was showing how he does certain parts of his job. And I'm not kidding you. The guy would upload like 6 spreadsheets into ChatGPT. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool. I wonder what his prompt is to get like these great results. And he literally just typed, analyze this, enter. No, I don't even think he wrote this. He just wrote analyze, enter. And then he'd do it again, analyze, enter. And he'd do it again, analyze, enter. And this guy was also a bit of an engineer. And he had he had another thing where he was coding. So he'd use AI to like code. And he'd code something and there'd be a bug. And I'm not kidding you. His prompt to fix the bug was fix. That was the entire prompt. He'd just write fix, enter, fix, enter, fix, enter. And it just hit me that it's like, you know, you don't got to get crazy with this stuff. Don't be intimidated. Just freaking in plain English, tell it what you want it to do. And it actually does a pretty good job following instructions. So pretty incredible. All right. Anyway, so try this. Try this. Phrase flip, right? You can Franken-phrase. You can also phrase flip. Okay. All right. Now, this is going to blow your mind. You can even phrase flip a Franken-phrase. Now, I know that's probably freaking you all out here. So let me explain it. You take something that you Franken-phrased. So you remember the screenshot from earlier where you've got like kind of this one phrase put together by all these different phrase fragments. Well, then take that into ChatGPT and say, hey, paraphrase this. And now you should be approaching something that truly is new, unique, original, and like not likely to have been seen before, which is pretty cool. So has this been helpful? Everybody with me? This is the most important skill for you to develop in the print-on-demand game. More so than ads, more so than conversion rate stuff. This, if you want to succeed selling ShineOn, jewelry, in most print-on-demand products, this is the most important lesson and skill you need to develop. Yes. Love it. Okay, good. All right. So I have some next steps for you, and then maybe we'll do a little Q&A. So, first of all, if you haven't yet, join the 100 challenge, right? The whole premise of the challenge is starting 100 days out from Christmas. You launch one product a day for 100 days for 100 chances to win. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're going, yeah, but we're 46 days out from Christmas. Yeah, but it's still an incredible community and challenge to be part of. Like, you're still going to be held accountable. You're going to be giving tools and resources, knowledge and training to launch one product a day. You're going to be doing it like alongside other people that have similar goals. You're going to see their successes and you're going to be encouraged by it. And also, guys, I think it's like $5 or something to join it. I don't even know how much it is. It's chump change. We're not making any money on it. Okay. It's not paying any salaries around here. I can promise you. The main reason we charge is because if we don't charge, we find that we get people in it that just don't care and don't take any action. If you're in it, we want you to take action. You need to have some skin in the game. So we are going to charge some money. That's out of love, people. We're charging you money because we love you. Okay. Only at ShineOn. So anyways, go check this out. ShineOnchallenge.com/100. This is where you need to go. ShineOnchallenge.com/100 to join the challenge. It is not too late. Go join it. Putting the link in the chat right now. Okay. Putting the link in the chat right now. So go check that out. Okay. So that's the 100 challenge. But then we also have the first sale challenge. So if you haven't made your first sale yet, you probably want to go do the first sale challenge, right? Again, I think it's like $5, and I think you get three like coaching sessions or group coaching sessions or something like that. You get a step-by-step, like how to build your Shopify store. Andy teaches the whole thing, and he does an amazing job. So if you want to join that, ShineOnchallenge.com. Okay. Go to ShineOnchallenge.com if you want to join this. Again, I think it's $5. And no, I'm not giving this away for free. I've actually done that before. As soon as we gave it away for free, the completion rates fell off. I'm charging you for your own good. Okay. You can thank me later. For charging you money on this. I'm charging you money for your own good. If you have skin in the game, you suddenly care and you take action, right? So I'm doing this for your benefit. Okay. But seriously, jokes aside, well, I'm not making any money on this. This is not paying salaries or anything like this. This is buying some coffees. Okay. I don't even know if it pays for the time that we put into making these things. Quite honestly, we're going to have to sell a boatload of them to make it up. ShineOnchallenge.com if you'd like that. Okay. Next, I have a free resource for you. This I analyzed. This is the wrong freaking. It's the wrong image. Well, ignore that. Dang. Here, I'll just give you a preview of it real quick. So I made a phrase playbook. It took me quite a while actually to do all the analysis on these phrases to build this playbook. And I had to build an entire automation, believe it or not, to do this. I had to build an automation. And by the way, I built it. Okay. Not the engineering team. I freaking built this automation where I took all of the products from the last, 5 years. I threw them into like a workflow that pulled all the text out of the thing. And then I had to get all the text analyzed. And it took me a little while to kind of figure it out. But I built this thing here. So it's sourced from over 700,000 orders. I found the 40 plus best-selling phrase fragments and kind of how to write your own. Now, look, these phrase fragments, I found the phrase fragments that are in this workbook. I'm not kidding. I don't hold me to this, but they're in like the majority of the products that make sales, right? And I'm going to read some of them to you, and you're going to recognize these. But you want to go download this playbook. I gave it away for free. This is probably the most valuable resource that I have ever given away for free. I mean, I should charge for this because of how valuable it is. And even if you use the phrases in the playbook, there's no guarantee of sales. The results aren't guaranteed. Every merchant's different. A lot of people download these guys, don't take any friggin' action. Sharing these for educational purposes is not a promise of income or success. Use common sense, take smart risks, etc. Hopefully everybody understands that. Okay, so top recipients: daughter, wife, granddaughter; top senders: dad, husband, mom. Average word count on winning phrases: 70 words. Average sentences: 5. Average reading level: 5th grade. Top products: Forever Love Not, Alluring Beauty, graphic journals, Cuban link chains. Top selling phrase fragments. I squeezed this necklace really tight. By the way, I'm just gonna, grab a few of these. I squeezed this necklace really tight, filled it with my love and light. The day I met you, my life changed. You have this incredible way of making my heart happy. These should sound familiar if you've done any amount of phrase research. Meeting you was fate. Becoming your husband was a choice. Falling in love with you is beyond my control. I can't promise I'll be here for the rest of your life. I can promise to be here for the rest of mine. I can promise to love you for the rest of mine. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. Learn to dance in the rain. Every day may not be good. Find something good in every day. Laugh, love life, follow your dreams, believe in yourself. Remember to be awesome. I'll always be proud of you and love you unconditionally, because forever and always, you always be my little girl. The day I laid eyes upon you was the day my world changed forever. Always be brave and strong. Enjoy the ride. Never forget your way back home. If I had one wish, it'd be to turn back the clock so I could find you sooner and love you longer, etc. Then I go over some common motifs. The always and forever motif. The can't promise X but can promise Y motif. The never forget but always remember motif. The braver, stronger, smarter motif. The believe in you motif. The fate choice beyond my control motif. The straighten and fix your crown motif. And then I go over phrase stacking and all this stuff again. I mean, guys, it's a ridiculous value. It's a ridiculous value. And you can get it at this link here. There you go. It's yours for free. Don't say I never gave you anything. ShineOn.kit.com/2025-playbook. It's not totally for free. I do ask for your email. It's because I want to chase you on email, guys, because I am going to sell you something eventually. I've got to. I'm a marketer, guys. Always be offering, right? I'm a marketer. I can't help it. For only 4 easy payments. Nope. It's Matt. Look at that picture. Dude, you were a dapper young man at one point in time. Look at that. What happened, buddy? Is it print on demand just too stressful? Did it age you? I'm totally kidding, dude. You don't look that bad. But I didn't recognize this. I was expecting the beard, I guess. I don't really know. I shaved one day. Yeah. Someone says for $9.97. Nope. No tricks. No tricks, people. You can download it right here if you want it. Anybody that has done any amount of phrase research knows that this is gold. This is gold. Matt says this is the last Q4. Dude, there's no way. I've never... Nope. No way. I'm calling BS on that. You look like you're like 17 in this picture. Do you even have a driver's license in this picture? I can see a little bit of like peach fuzz on the chin here. Yeah. I'm kidding. Anyway. Oh, you're saying it was last Q4 that aged you. Yeah, I get it now. Okay, we're just goofing around here. Okay. Someone says ouch. I know Matt pretty well. We're just playing. You can make fun of me all day. If I get behind this wall just right, it looks like I don't have any hair. So, I tell everybody it's growing inward. It's making me smarter. All right. I've got 5 minutes. I can do maybe 1 or 2 questions. If you guys got any. Did you get value out of this today? Huh? Did you get value out of it? Do we need any music? Let's see here. How do let's do that. Ooh.
Let's make this the best Q4 ever. Happy selling!
That's pretty cool. Let me find that chorus.
Don't baby, that's the rule. Phrases pay the bill. That's the merchant's tool. Franken-phrase it up. Flip it with AI. If they feel it's real, watch your sales get high.
Franken-phrase it up. What was it? Franken-phrase it up if they feel it's real. Hang on.
Stitch it back together, make them cry with your copy. You'll be printing money forever. Don't write original, that ain't the move. Resort
Don't write original, that ain't the move.
was working, get into the groove. Chat
Research what's working, get into the groove.
GPT's your homie, flip that phrase around.
ChatGPT's your homie, flip that phrase around.
Personalize the product, that's how you lock it down. If they cry, they buy. Baby, that's the rule. Phrases pay the bill. That's the merchant's tool. Franken-phrase it up, flip it with AI. If they feel it's real, watch your sales get high.
Dude, that is so cool. That is so cool. I'm not seeing any questions. Here we got one. Most of my message card jewelry has personalization to my wife with customizable signature. Would it be easier to gain traction as a beginner? I probably wouldn't personalize starting out. The thing is you need to move as quickly. Speed matters when you're testing. You need to move super fast, right? So don't personalize in the beginning. Just swap out phrases, right? And try to find a phrase that that gets some sales, get some attention, right? What are the top 4 message card background colors? I'm telling you, you're overthinking it. Test with a white background. The only 2 I'd probably mess with are like white and like deep charcoal gray. I wouldn't mess with anything else. Don't overthink it. I'm telling you, whether your background color is navy blue or like an eggshell white or, like a periwinkle, blue, like none of that is actually going to affect sales that much. It's the phrase, guys. It's the phrase. It's the phrase that pays. Have you ever been to the Horse and Jockey pub in St. Pete's Beach? It's my cousin Lee's pub. Tell him I said hi from the UK if you go, and tell me I'm buying a drink. No, I haven't actually. I'm in Kansas City, believe it or not. Yeah, I don't. The headquarters is in St. Pete. Actually, guys, you guys want a surprise? You want to know a surprise? I don't know if I should say this because I was going to do something different later. You guys want to hear a surprise real quick? You guys want to hear a surprise? Let me know in the chat if you want to hear a surprise. I've been doing something in the background nobody even knew. And it's a testament to my ops team, our ops team. You guys ready for this? I don't think you're ready for it. Anybody want to guess what this is? Anybody want to guess what this is? It's a little bit of a trick question. Yeah. Nope, you guys got it. New warehouse, new place. Yeah. Our first day shipping out of this was, I think, Monday or Tuesday. We moved facilities and there was zero impact. Zero impact. We moved from St. Pete to Lutz, Florida. There was absolutely zero impact. Nobody knew about it. Our ops team at ShineOn is second to none. These guys deserve an incredible amount of credit for what they were able to pull off. I don't know if you can tell, that's a lot of stuff in this picture. It's an enormous amount of stuff. We're talking machines, inventory. It's insane. There was zero impact because of the dedication of our ops team, because of their skill, their planning, their coordination. They are second to none in this space. I'm telling you. Without them, we wouldn't exist. They are the heartbeat of the entire company, and they deserve a ton of credit for this. I was going to make like an actual post in the Facebook group, and I'm probably still going to do that. But you guys just heard about it first. We're shipping out of Lutz now instead of St. Pete. It's like 40 miles away, ish. I don't even know if it's that far away. Pretty incredible though. Pretty incredible. All right, everybody. I hope you got a ton of value out of this today. Did some good old fundamentals. The fundamentals are where it's at. It's the grind. It's the kind of like boring part of the process where most of the value is created here at ShineOn. So Matt says praying for no storms this year. So that's actually why we moved, buddy. So the St. Pete facility was actually in a flood zone, right? For some reason, we had this bright idea of putting our production facility on a freaking island, right in a like hurricane zone, right? And so St. Pete was actually in a flood zone. And last year, when that nerd of a Hurricane Milton came through, we were very nervous. I'm not going to lie. Shaking in my little space boots, nervous on that one. And we boarded up windows. We put plastic tarps over everything. We were kind of nervous about what was going to happen. And we felt like we really dodged a bullet, and we never wanted to go through that again. So we moved inland. We're not in a flood zone anymore. We have no concerns about hurricanes anymore where we're at. We're up on high ground. So we're feeling much, much, much better about the new location. So storms, no issue, man. No issue at all. The storms are a thing of the past. Okay, everybody. Hope you got a ton of value out of this. Love spending time with you. Get out there. Put everything you learned today into action. Get your tests going. Now is the time to be testing. Test. Get crazy with it. Test like a mad person. Lose sleep if you have to. Skip meals if you have to. The opportunity is incredible. And it's right now, and it's yours for the taking. But you have to take action. Nothing's guaranteed, right? I've said that multiple times. But I can promise you this. If you don't take action, nothing will happen. I can promise you that. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Happy selling. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.